it back down. Nice, chin down a little, get that little smile in the eyes. What's your secret? Tip the head a little straighter. Right there, chin down even more. Good. Stay there.
Even after my show with her was done, I was still in fake mode, you know, but I was still in the world, even though the tour has ended, I'm still in the world trying to represent what they saw me as, which was super Iron Man, kill it all and knock it all down, when I knew that I wasn't that. I knew that I wasn't that because when I had my other moments, I was petrified. And I was proving that I was weak because I wasn't standing up for myself. That's been a very gripping thing to have to undo from me to me.
So my first question, when I was watching the film and I was done, I thought that it's so much about perspective, like telling stories is about telling perspectives or looking at certain perspectives. And when you were like realizing the project, what was your perspective or your take on this specific story?
Well, it all started with these guys that we saw when we were 11 and 16 years old in cinema, and we were so moved by them, by these characters in a movie with Madonna. And then when we met them, we realized that they're still huge characters, and that whole film back then was about self-expression, and that's why it has touched so many people and us as well. And then we met them and we realized there's a bigger story to tell about self-expression and self-acceptance again 25 years later. That's the main perspective, I think.
I just love that they were 11 and so was I when we were filming.
Yes, you were 11 or 10.
I was 10 maybe.
So how did you even decide to like get into contact with the dancers and really develop the story? Can you like talk a little bit about that?
I mean, it was Reijer's idea, which he had had for years, or more like he was wondering what happened to the dancers. And then I stepped in and we got in touch with all of them online. Some were harder to get in touch with than others, but we managed. We went to the US in the summer of 2013 and met them all. And actually, that's when we were convinced it was really a film, because we wanted to make something that wasn't just like looking back at a tour. We wanted it to be a film in its own right, and of course that depended on what they all had to say and what had happened to them. So we met all of them, convinced them to take part, and we knew we had a film when we were there, and we'd met them all.
What did you think when that happened, Luis? Were you still like, was your mind still busy with that time, or had you already like?
I had already
closed that door. And, like,
I closed that door.
Yeah.
And when I say I closed that door, I don't mean in a negative way.
Right.
I just meant that I was just, moving on, and life was already in session for me.
Right.
When they approached me, I really was kind of reluctant to take part, honestly. I just didn't want to rehash everything and just, I don't know, living in the past type of deal. And, I've done a lot of interviews that was about the other, her. And so I was just kind of tired of answering questions about her.
Right. So what was the moment when you were convinced and said, yes, I'm going to do it, because it's not probably going to be about her, but more about us and our perspective again, Like, I think this is the crucial thing about this film. It's not about Madonna and like her promotion of dance and voguing and stuff, but it's really about your
I think it was the moment when they picked up the check at the fancy restaurant.
Boy, was
be honest, yeah, you be honest.
If you're going to take me out to dinner, and we're about to go,
and then a year later.
And then he said, ask me next year when you come back.
When you come back, ask me again. I'll pick another restaurant. No. No, I'm kidding. I really was hesitant, and so I don't know. At the end of our conversation, it was like we were kind of like friends. I just felt comfortable with the idea, the concept, and and I really relished the thought of just telling my own story of what happened and where I was today in my life. So
I think also for most of the dancers, they still get messages from people saying like, when I saw you, I dare to come out, I dare to be myself, and that was what it was about for us. And I think but it was for all of them when they realized that it was about that and about what they have meant and what that has meant in their own lives,
right.
then Luis and the others got more interested in being a part of it again.
And like from a director's point of view too, like what stories did evolve throughout like the shooting process? What stuff happened that you probably didn't expect, or that just happened and you dealt with it somehow?
A lot.
Yeah, well, there's some things we can't really tell because they would be spoilers.
because I haven't seen the film yet.
And he hasn't seen the
we
film
have to,
yet.
Yeah, we have to be really careful.
I mean, it's a strange film to direct because it's not like we followed them with the camera for years. So what we're doing is we're telling the whole story of the past during the tour and what happened since then. Together with them, and so we used dance as well. We did some dance scenes, which are slightly more abstract and poetic and artistic. And there's also a lot of interviews in there. So I don't know if that's
their
an
stories
answer, but
and
it's
their secrets sometimes too, and their doubts and self-doubt. That was what surprised us in the initial conversations, and when we all met them, as a contrast to the pride and fierceness that they were expelling in the original movie. And then along the way, also during filming, I think we saw more of that, and we were maybe not surprised but happy that each and every one of them really decided to open up and to show what it was about and is about. And I think we were from the very beginning until now and the film touched by that, by their true stories and how honest that always. Yeah.
How did you experience that entire shooting process? Like, how did you forget the camera at some point, or were you always really conscious about the fact that someday the entire world will be exposed to it again?
It was rough in the beginning. I mean, honestly, only because, again, it was because I wasn't really interested in rehashing the past. It's honestly because I only became more comfortable through their sort of openness towards me and this camaraderie that we started to develop, that I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable with them, and so as we got into the filming more and more, it was only natural for me to kind of just open up. And once you open those floodgates, it's like it all comes out. I was like vomiting all over it.
Beautiful vomit.
Yeah, beautiful vomit.
But how did the group dynamic, did it change? Like from back in the day until there is a moment when you all come
the
together.
spoiler. No.
I don't know what I could say. I mean, I know when I saw them all again, it was like old times.
I think I had the strong feeling, you have to tell me if I'm right, that somehow that whole tour wasn't just about touring with her, but it was like a first love in your life. It had the intensity for them of this like first big love experience. Like it's something that sticks under your skin and it never really leaves
in terms
you.
like a group, like as a group.
Well,
and as a
definitely for
family,
me, it
and
was
as a-
definitely that that first time that I got to get out of my situation.
You were 19
of my
What was your situation?
neighborhood.
What was your situation?
Well, it was I was just a kid from the projects, and I was going to the high school performing arts, and everybody dreams of getting out, going out and seeing the world and stuff like that, and that situation afforded me that opportunity, and so I went for it.
What did you learn? What were like the
What did I learn? Oh my God. What didn't I learn on that tour? I learned how to be accountable for my actions. I really grew up, you know, I learned to be responsible for myself. And it was just more about experiencing and experiences, world experiences, different cultures, you know, really building relationships and I don't know, I'm finding myself.
Do you want to add something? What did you learn?
What
was there?
Well, like we talked about already, but the whole idea of the 7 dancers who meant so much to other people by showing themselves, but then there's that paradox, and what we maybe learned also about ourselves from doing this is how hard it actually is to dare to be yourself, and even if you're somewhat proud or prideful, then there's always this thing like, what do other people think, and do I care about that? And I think everybody does, and we talked a lot about like you want to be non-conformist, but it's just so hard to not care, and then even these 7 dancers who showed the world how to express yourself, even they have these sort of doubts and shameful feelings, and so that's what we picked up from it ourselves too, like the inner struggle that's always there, but and how great it is to dare to actually be yourself.